Good afternoon to one and all present here. On behalf of the School of Commerce and Management, it's indeed my privilege and pleasure to welcome the Chief Chairperson of today's technical session, Dr. M. Vetrivel, Associate Professor, Department of Commerce, Wales University. He has authored more than 5 books and served as a resource person in many reputed colleges. Apart from this, he has presented and published research papers in many international journals of repute. As a member of editorial committee, I would like to brief about the conference to the participants and delegates of this conference. The success of the conference relies upon the number of delegates participating in the conference. The editorial committee have really achieved a pinnacle in terms of huge number of participants for this conference. A total of 300 participants have contributed to the success of this conference, out of which 127 papers authored and co-authored by 260 participants. These participants from 61 colleges belong not only from various districts from Tamil Nadu, but are also from other states such as Uttarakhand, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Bangalore, and Pondicherry, to name a few. This success is the result of tireless and persistent efforts of our committee members for nearly 6 months. As a result, we are in a position to publish proceedings in the hard copy and soft copy on the day of the conference itself. Many papers were published in UGC Group 1 journals, and some papers were selected to be published in Web of Science and Scopus. With great effort and hard work to satisfy the participant requirements, we have done our level best to keep up to our expectations. Thank you. Now, I would like to welcome our chairperson, Dr. M. Vetrivel, to share a few words.
First of all, thank you to the Board of Management and principal of this institution and the conference committee member. Good afternoon to all the persons here. The title presenters please noted in very important aspect in not exceeding in 5 minutes. Each and every paper presenters only noted that the few points. First one is abstract and methodology and the major findings and the conclusion. Then this kind of information only noted in paper presenters. All paper presenters is welcome once again. Thank you.
Dear participants, kindly wait for 5 minutes. Be ready with the presentation.
We need not waste it.
Now, I would like to call upon Ms. Nirmala Mosla to present a paper in online.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, the screen is visible.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am, your screen is.
Okay, ma'am.
Madam, you can start your presentation.
Ma'am, shall I start?
Yes, ma'am, you can start your presentation.
Yes, ma'am. So today I'm going to present the topic entrepreneurship, a great stress buster, study among non-working women. So we all know that women are the most dynamic creation of Mother's nature, and they constitute almost half of the total population in the world. And they are also called the better half of the society. And they are considered as a four walls in the past, but now they step foot in all the corners of the world, including the spaces. So women entrepreneurs are looked as a successful source of the booster, and they are the most national income people who contribute to the society. So it is clearly known that the women have potential skills in knowledge and the flexibility to run away business in a successful manner. Even though women are such powerful being on the earth, some women in India are still homemakers and in the view of the society. So there are various benefits when a woman indulge in entrepreneur activities, and they also improve their personal skill when they go outside and work, or when they do a homepreneur. So they are multitasking and they are passionate towards working or in business, or moreover they are very patient and self-motivated so that they can balance the work as well as they can balance the home. So they cannot only promote economic and social equity, which gives self-fulfillment, but also most of the studies proved that the use of feminine human capital in the field of entrepreneurship with proper support has led to stress relief among non-working women. So Prakash Goyal, 2011, the author, focused on the reason behind women being a successful entrepreneur. So this is like education, the support from the family members, are successful stories from the family, and they also called the better half of the society. As every woman considered as a purpose, like family, social interaction,
ஆடியோ இருக்குல்ல சார் இதில் ஆடியோ இருக்குல்ல அதில் போங்கள அதில் ஆப்ஷன் அதில் தான் ஸ்பீக்கர்ல தான்
some women in India are still homemakers and so there are various benefits when a woman indulges in entrepreneurial activities.
மைக் கனெக்ட் ஆயிருக்கா ஸ்பீக்கர் கனெக்ட் ஆயிருக்கா
கனெக்ட் ஆயிருக்கு So we are multitasking and we are passionate towards working on business our own work. They are very ambitious and motivated so that they can balance the work as well as they can balance the home. So they cannot work in
Ma'am, am I audible? I'm hearing my own voice. Ma'am, can I continue?
You can continue.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. And the author, Babu 2015, discusses that India's startup scene in motivating and attracting more women entrepreneurs by a lot of schemes by the government for the promotion and development of women entrepreneurs has led to rise of women entrepreneurs in India. And now we can find that most investors are the women startups which raising funds to start initially for promoting their women to stand by their own self. And the digital media is also one of the fine and solid platform for the women that empowered them into the entrepreneurships. So my basic objective was to understand the role of entrepreneurship itself and to know whether this is reducing a strategy and to study the demographic profile of the respondents and to discuss the current scenario of the women entrepreneurs. So my research design was descriptive research design and sampling method was snowball sampling method. And non-working women who had just started their startup is my sample respondents. I have taken around 52 sample sizes. So the questionnaire was with two parts of questions. First, the demographic of the respondents, and the second one was a self-developed with the 10 items using 5-point Likert scale. Questions were asked related to how they find or how they feel about the entrepreneur, and the reliability scores satisfying non-less requirements, which is 0.70. The statistical analysis was carried using SPSS 16 tools like t-test and regression analysis, and this has been carried out for the support for the final study. So, socio-economic status like age, educational level, marital status, income was taken, and what type of initiative they started to do their business was taken. In that, it was referred that it was seen that 42% of 20 to 30 years were more, and they were they studied around 10 to 12 standard their educational level, married, and their income level was 5,000 to 10,000, and mostly they were doing basket business, which is followed by the matchbox making and candle making and mat making. This is all was done in their home itself. And what are the factors which is contributing to the stresses? It was inferred that factors contributing to the stress was maximum, that is the less income, the family burden, the debt, and feeling worthless and feeling bored. So these were the reasons which were contributing the stress. These were the stresses actually, and this was compared with the marital status, and it was seen that there is no significant difference between the marital status with respect to the factors contributing to the stresses accepted. And my second tabulation was calculated with the F-test, and this was the level of stress which is being compared with the age. And this table is an evidence that the p-value is less than 0.05 and the null hypothesis is rejected, which says that there is a significant difference among age and stress level faced by the non-working women. So there was no significant difference among the educational level and startup initiatives and rejected. So from this table, it is evident that the p-value is less than 0.05, and this shows that the significant difference among educational level and startup initiatives among non-working women. So educational level doesn't carry with any of like hindrance with the startups programs. So the finding from the research states that apart from so many other stress relieving factors for women at home, entrepreneurship has given a ray of hope and increased their passion towards life, and they are also able to balance their stress level, and they are also balancing their family as well as their work, and it is reducing the stress for the non-working women because they are not in debt or dependent for the money to their head of the family. And entrepreneurship gives a way to not only reduce the stress, but also it opens a new door in a life. And women participants of the study also have said that it's like a new me. So they are finding something new in them, and they have started their own business, and they are standing on their own legs. So where the empowerment takes place, miracles happens in all the fields where they are stepping into it, and they are shining as an entrepreneur. There are also various schemes led by the government to support women entrepreneurs, and the problem is the lack of awareness among the general public. So women are no longer dependent to anyone in this world. So they are ready to take chances and make those chances into newer path full of opportunities, irrespective of the educational qualification. They take up opportunities that knocks their door and excel in it. So the study states evident that entrepreneurial ideas among women helps to de-stress themselves from their other social commitments and find their own spaces. So nowadays, women entrepreneurs are also found performing great in digital startups, which they increase the number of women entrepreneurs in great numbers. So for example, like digital startup means online also they have started to do the businesses, because everybody is having smartphones, and they are online also they are not charging so much of amount, and through Meesho, Amazon also the candle making things on, they have initiated to promote their own business in that also. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. It's paper is a very good presentation. One question is what method to handling the selection of sampling method?
Sorry, I'm not
Sampling method.
Sampling method is snowball method, sir. So like if I'm contacting means they have referred their own person, whoever have started their entrepreneurship. So through one person, I have started to get the samples. So that is snowball method.
Okay, thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, madam, for your presentation. Now I call upon Mr. Devanand Varadan to present the paper in online. Thank you.
Devanand Varadan.
Mr. Devanand Varadan, sir, you can continue. Start with the presentation.
Oh, can I do it now? Because I was told that it was between 2:30 and 4. I'm online.
You can start now.
If you want, let him, otherwise let him join in 2:30.
So if you want means you can continue in this session, otherwise you can join in 2:30 session. Devanand Varadan, sir, you can
Yes.
continue.
Can I do it now? Oh, can I do it now? Because I was told that it was between 2:30 and 4.
So there are two sessions, sir.
Yesterday evening I spoke to you. I told you that if you want, you can join any session. If you are willing, you can join this session. Otherwise, you can join 2:30 to 4:30 session. That is up to you. Which session you want to join, sir?
So can I go ahead now? I'm anyway prepared.
Yes, if you are ready, you can go ahead.
Yeah, let me share the screen.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So, ma'am, dear sirs and ma'am, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Yeah, good morning to you all. I'm going to present this paper on strategy, sequence, strength, focus, SWOT analysis. It's a conceptual framework. And this is a brief on the author's profile. I'm a doctoral student from University of Madras. And my guide is Dr. Guruswamy and Dr. Satyanarayanan. By the way, I'm an interdisciplinary doctoral student. Okay, let me take you through the SWOT. As we all aware of, it's a simple acronym which consists of strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. This has been an excellent tool which was introduced in 50s and was imbibed by Stanford. And it has been a strategic tool in the management process and extensively used by the academicians, students, and also by the corporates. This tool is equally underutilized and, in fact, I would call it abused, if I may say so. So this is continue to be a problem of understanding this tool widely by the professionals. So this tool is elusive gay. When I say elusive, it is incomplete. It's a standalone tool. And in terms of sequencing, it takes different places with different processes. And here, one more problem is the threat, which cannot be circumvented, is my feeling, the author's feeling. The threat, so-called the war, the pandemic, and the trend and shift. For example, Gen Z is a trend, is a completely different shift. These are the tools which are not, this tool especially is not factoring all that. And the objective of this is that before going to objectives, there are different tools which are based on SWOT analysis, came in 60s and further, which is called business portfolio matrix, the Porter's 5 forces analysis, General Electric's business screen, and SWOT analysis is later called TOS by a different author. SWOT is basically inside out, and the TOS is outside in. The telescopic observation framework, and the ADL matrix. The objectives of this is that the presentation is that in our paper, it is unique. The author feels the unique. It's because we are introducing the strategy sequence, and it is a strength-focused approach because the weakness has to be dealt with. The weakness has to be converted to the strength to look at the new opportunities and also the existing opportunities. Classic example of Apple, where Apple came with a phone, but they were looking at an opportunity beyond the horizon, which is the ecosystem. Now, all of us do not use phones only for communication. It is used to view, videos, to chat, to run the applications. All that happens. So that is another point of view which is covered in this paper. And develop strength to take the challenges head on, which is to, instead of the old paper talking about the 1950s SWOT, talking about circumventing the threat. Here we are going to take the threat heads on. Here I would like to mention in particular that we are not saying this paper is the paper for the solution for all the problems. This paper probably would be one of those 10 papers available. And as the situation calls for and compatible with any one of the alternatives, this paper can be chosen. This model can be chosen by the corporates for the academicians and students as well. So the need for the study, it is generally what happens is that when founder of Infosys, we all know that when he stepped when he retired from the business, the share market took a dip. And when at that point in time, imagine Infosys, where this Infosys chairman retirement would have been given focus on? Will it be given on, was it given on weakness or was it given on threat? And when luxury brands are required to drive the economy of scale, but still remain, rare, these are the reasons when Tata launched Land Rover, there was a huge success, but they failed in Nano. Why they failed in Nano is that the cost leadership is considered as cheap product, and all the marketing materials were driven into the cheap commodity, and that's why it failed. And And yes, of course, during the long pandemic war, the generation of Z trends, which keep on changing, and that's why the need for the study arises. So I'm getting into the conceptual framework. This is actually a sequence which is put into 5 stages. The stage 1 is the input stage, the validation stage comes the second, third is the sequencing, and fourth matching, and fifth is the evaluation stage. So the input stage is very, very critical. In strength, we are taking things like vision, mission, key core, critical components like that. And the weakness, which is elaborated, quite well in the seminal paper. And the weakness goes on into considering into low weakness, consider low degree, low level, medium level, and high level impact levels, and the opportunities which are existing, enhanced, expanded, and the new opportunities. Here in threats alone, compared to the old SWOT, what we are doing here is that the old SWOT considers threat as the external factor. Here we are going to give an argument that the internal weakness, if it is not handled on time, it will become a threat. So it could be internal also to an extent. Is what we are trying to.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Go to finding portion, sir.
It is a conceptual framework. This is the methodology and the finding. Here we are doing the first SWOT is the
only
yes,
ask about our paper conclusion.
Okay. Okay, the conclusion part is that the industries are dying, especially we have come across in last 3 decades, the film cameras, typewriters, and telephones. They are actually died industry, and the big corporates and the big brands which are associated with these industries, they also tried eventually. One name I would like to point here is Kodak. And there are some substitutes because of which, for example, the air travel sales have declined because of virtual conference and speed of other modes of transport, which has declined into the air travel business. And there are some wrong decisions which have taken place in case of Nano and Kingfisher, where the dual brand advantage has been taken completely into a different spotlight, and hence that was a collapse, reason for a collapse for Kingfisher. So SWOT is something what we are trying to argue is that only when in an ongoing industry in a tight spot, SWOT should be looked at as a strategic management tool. But in the event where, or in a situation where the opportunities are fading and weaknesses are increasing and threats are even more fatal for the companies, where any kind of a SWOT will not work in this circumstances, sir. This is what the paper talks about that. And all the details of that is available in the seminal paper. And anything related to any queries of this particular paper, you could get in touch with me in this number. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Now I call upon Ms. T. Punita to present the paper. Thank you.
Dear participants, kindly restrict your presentation within 7 minutes, because the other participants are also waiting. Okay? Maximum, actually we have time that is given to you is 5 minutes. Maximum it can go up to 6 minutes. With that, please kindly wind up.
Excuse me, ma'am, to start my presentation. Excuse me, ma'am. Shall I start my presentation?
Yes, ma'am, you can start.
Yes. Good afternoon to one and all. This is T. Punita, full-time PhD research scholar from the Department of Commerce, Srimati Devkunwar Nanalal Bhatt Vaishnav College for Women. The title of my research paper is A Study on Consumer Perception Towards Social Media with special reference to Instagram. Now we'll get into the insight about social media. We all know today social media has been a major player in today's world, and it has changed the today's world entirely. It is very popular not only among the younger generations, but the mid and the older generations were also influenced by the development of social media. It is a web-based technology that helps us to share the ideas, thoughts, and information through building up of effective networks amongst its users. On personal front, it is used by the people for interacting with their friends and relatives, and also for the purpose of socializing with them. On the business front, that is professional front, it has been mainly used by the business people for procuring the markets, and many organizations are shifting from their traditional practices into the newer one in order to adapt to this online environment for promoting their businesses globally. Now we'll come into the key point, that is the Instagram. Instagram is a social media platform that helps us in photo and video sharing through its mobile application. It is a photo input application which permits its users to give filters effects to photos and share them with their followers and friends. This application allows its operators to upload media content that can be amended with strainers and schematized by hashtags and physical labeling. Posts can be shared easily by the users of Instagram or with the pre-approved followers. Operators can serve other handlers' contents with the help of tags and location, cite their contents, like their photos, and follow other users to add their content to their personal feed. The scope of my study, where this study focused mainly on consumer perception towards social media, and users of Instagram living in Chennai city were contacted for the study. And the main objectives of my study were to study the perception of consumers towards social media and to find out some factors influencing them to use Instagram, and to analyze the satisfaction level of Instagram among its users. And the research methodology that I have used in my study is, this is a descriptive and analytical study based on both primary and secondary data. The primary data was collected from 100 respondents using online platform, that is using Instagram. Secondary data comprises of information that already exists somewhere, have been collected for some other purpose. The secondary data is gathered from textbooks, internet research articles, and journals. Next comes the review of literature. Uh, Reviews has been collected from textbooks, journals, and from other sources. And here, Ahmed Hufat, Zahra Putri, Naibullah, has from their research article. In their study, they use the factors to find out the outcome of Instagram on shoppers' shopping behavior.
Madam, come to analysis part.
Yes, sir. So here comes the framework of analysis. I have used both percentage analysis and weighted average method in order to analyze my objectives. Here, by using percentage analysis, various factors were found out, and this is the findings of the weighted average method. By using weighted average method, it was identified that Instagram is used for entertainment purpose, hence it is ranked 1, and followed by the celebrity influence is high on Instagram, hence it is ranked 5, and good privacy policy is least preferred on Instagram, hence it is ranked 10. And here are some of the suggestions from the study. Instagram need more updates to be given, and it should implement good privacy policies, and the updates should be available to all the places and to all the people at all time. And they should improve quality of the video call and avoid posting fake news on Instagram. And this is the conclusion of my study. Here, this study concluded that the respondents used social media on daily basis for approximately 4 to 6 hours, and they use social media for entertainment purpose. The study found out that most of the respondents liked Instagram platform on social media, and they use Instagram for mostly watching news feeds. And the study, based on clear-cut objectives, had been made with proper collection of relevant data and analyzed with graphs and tables. The data were also tested with appropriate tools and techniques to arrive at consistent results. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, madam. Now I call upon Madam P. Swati to present the paper. Thank you.
Can I start the presentation? Yeah, 1 minute. I'm just sharing the screen. Very good morning to all the panelists. I'm Swati, a full-time PhD research scholar from the Department of Commerce from Srimati Devkunvar Nanalal Bhatt Vaishnav College for Women. It's a great pleasure in attending the international conference on contemporary issues in commerce and management. The title of my research paper is A Study on Efficacy of Online Advertisement on Consumer Behavior. This is with special reference to YouTube. Getting into the introduction of the study, today's video content is very large and abundant. So it creates an endless opportunities for advertisers. Consumers who want to watch anything will watch if it is only related, attention grabbing and valuable. Digital advertising or online advertising is nothing but it comprises of internet marketing, SEM, which is search engine marketing, SSM, which is social media marketing, and various other categories, which includes web banner advertising and mobile advertising. Marketers are completely aware that consumers now depend on their mobile devices for news, shopping, and significant portion for entertainment. It is a recent trend that has led many brands to produce virtual advertisements intended for platforms such as Instagram Stories, Snapchat, Facebook, Google Ads, and YouTube. Moving on to the crust of the research study, which is YouTube advertising. YouTube advertising undergoes the following process. The advertiser advertises using the YouTube platform through the network publisher, which is the YouTube, and it reaches the end consumer. Since YouTube is the second most popular search engine worldwide, and it is one of the most powerful platforms for businesses trying to capture customers' attention. It has nearly 2 billion users who will log in every month, and it gives the users a tremendous capacity for helping brands to attract new audiences and establish a loyal following. Advertising on YouTube produces many prospects for companies to expand their online marketing strategy. Moving on to the scope of the study, it focuses on the effectiveness of online advertising. People living in the Chennai city were contacted for the research study. The following the objectives of my study: to find out the effectiveness of online advertising with reference to YouTube ads, to identify the major factors that influence consumer towards online advertising in YouTube. The methodology of my study, it is a both descriptive and an analytical study. The primary data is collected using a well-structured questionnaire from 100 respondents who used online advertising. Secondary data was collected from textbooks, internet research articles, and journals. This is the review of literature. Moving on to the framework of analysis, I had used SPSS for processing the data. The tools used in the study were percentage analysis. These are the various findings that have been inferred out of percentage analysis. I would like to highlight the two of them. 66% of the respondents said that YouTube application contains more online advertisements. 39% of the respondents mostly check online advertisement using YouTube ads. The others are there in the slide to see. Moving on, the specific analysis that were used were weighted average method and Feynman ranking test. Using weighted average method, it was identified that skipping of advertisements were done by most of the people, hence it was ranked 1, followed by it offended the people's intelligence, hence it was ranked 6, followed by others. Feynman ranking test, it was inferred that respondents considered YouTube ads beneficial, hence it was ranked 1. They thought that YouTube ads make shopping easy, and hence it was ranked 2, followed by the others. The suggestions were given based on the results of the study. More preference can be given for the creative aspect. Wrong and misleading advertisements can be avoided. Proper, easy, and comfortable transactions can be improved. YouTube can decrease the frequency of video ads because sometimes it might irritate the users. It can publicize more on reliable products and services because that will gain trustworthiness from the consumers. Video advertisement is considered as the most preferred type of online advertisement by the consumers. Hence, it can introduce or improve new techniques. The most important thing is children are also watching YouTube these days. Hence, there should not be any vulgarity in the online advertisements displayed. The conclusion of the study: internet is growing and it is becoming more important in people's life. Therefore, it is strongly encouraging that the marketers should advertise more on internet instead of traditional media. YouTube ads have been ever fluctuating at a rapid rate with diversification and dynamism. Hence, publicity using YouTube ads is no longer viewed as a secondary business activity, but it is come to be accepted as a helpful service and a contributory input for expanded growth. YouTube ads have changed, modified, adjusted, and redefined over the years in India. Commitment, trust, value, satisfaction, and loyalty are the key words to success. Hence, therefore, it is necessary to build a long-term reliable relationship as the new economy is becoming more consumer-centrical. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, madam, for your presentation. Next, I would like to call upon Dr. M. Parveen Roja to present the paper. Next, participant kindly stick on to the time up to 5 minutes. Vivek? Madam, kindly wait for 2 minutes. And then you can start presentation. Wait for 2 minutes, madam.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Lavanya. I'm here to present the influence of trust in brand attachment. Yes, ma'am?
Madam, now you can start. You can start, madam.
Yeah, I can start now. Yes, thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Lavanya, and I'm here to present my research on influence of trust on brand attachment. So every firm tries to retain its prominent position, even in the matured market with brands that distinguishes its offering from its competitors. It is to make them stand unique in the cluttered competition. So as brands are intangible assets, it was created by the firms to earn goodwill. So consumer trust, reliable brands which meet out there interest. When the firms face negative publicity, they apply the rebranding strategy in order to eradicate the negative publicity. So Misalik et al. Defined rebranding as the practice of building a new name representative of a differentiated position in the mind frame of stakeholders and a distinctive identity from competitors. So the theoretical framework. So according to our commitment trust theory of relationship marketing, a relationship can be successful only if it has both commitment and trust. The brand trust creates a positive feeling and strengthens the relationship of the customers with the brand. Hence, the current study focused on finding the impact of brand trust over brand attachment. We have identified the problem as improving the consumer's trust as the primary objective of any firm. So however, for any brand, if there is a negative publicity about the firm and its offering, it is quite risky for the firm to regain the lost trust from its customer. When the firm implements rebranding strategies, how far it would shift its customer in its favor is questionable. Hence, the current study focuses on finding the impact of brand trust over brand attachment after rebranding in a hostile market. So the objective of our research is to find the effect of brand trust on brand attachment after rebranding, to find the influence of advertisements and experience and satisfaction of the consumers. This is the conceptual framework. Brand trust is a psychological state that comprises a set of accumulated perceptions about the brand's validity, integrity, and goodness. So the advertisement has an effect, depends on the trust in the advertiser. It is also stated that brand experience arises out of the past purchase behavior of customers. Brand satisfaction as the outcome of the subjective evaluation that the chosen alternative meets or exceeds the expectations. So brand attachment indicates the emotional attachment of the customer with the brand. So this is our conceptual framework. The effects of brand trust over brand attachment and the moderating effects of brand experience, brand satisfaction, and ad trust were studied. So we have selected 336 responses of packaged milk were collected using the questionnaire from Madurai. So a smart PLS has been used for this study, and the path model explains 52.3% variance in the effects of brand trust over brand attachment and the moderating effects of brand experience, satisfaction, and ad trust. The model fit is confirmed by SRMR value less than 0.8, which is considered a good fit. So findings: more the trust, better will be the attachment of the brand with the customers. When the ad is trustworthy, the closer the bonding between the customer and the brand for the rebranding will work. So better experience of the customer in using the brand improves the bonding with the customer in a rebranding scenario. Though the influence of brand satisfaction is immediate, the magnitude of effect would likely to improve over a period of time. Though rebranding works out, the degree of influence of trust over attachment is affected when the customer expects still a lot more than the firm to phase out the earlier negative experiences they had in order to regain the satisfaction level. So these are the managerial implications. The firms have to strategize their rebranding exercise in such a way that they start with main focus on the product and service from customers' expectations point of view. And they should modify their product or services to meet out their expectations and prove their quality. These upgradations have to be communicated to the customer through advertisement, which will create trust among the minds of the customers. Thank you so much.
Ma'am, this is supposed to be an audience side. Any audible?
Is it audible?
Madam, is it audible?
Dr. Lavanya, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me the assessment of what you are?
It's not audible, sir.
This is a question from audience side, ma'am.
Still, it's not audible.
Yeah, please tell me the methodology, ma'am. What kind of methodology you are after? What are you after?
Ma'am, there is a question from the audience side. Did you listen now?
Ma'am, voice is not at all clear. Can you just type the question in the chat box so that I can answer? We have used descriptive research, random sampling.
Okay, madam, thank you.
Thank you.
Now I call upon Dr. Orsina Mary Matthew to present the paper. Thank you.
So may I start, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good afternoon to all. Myself, Sinamini Matthew, a full-time research scholar at Government College, Attingal, Kerala University. I'm going to present a paper titled App-Based Banking, iMobile Pay, the digital banking app of ICICI Bank. Today, Indian banks are witnessing a digital revolution. Banks are adopting the technological innovations which make the products and services more customer-centric. Banking sector in India has adopted various technological innovations in the form of digital banking mobile applications, making most of the banking services available at their fingertips and which successfully makes banking as an innovative banking. The people focusing on the app-based banking of ICICI Bank with reference to the mobile app iMobile Pay. The statement of problem, the growing formalization of the Indian economy and rapid adoption of technology are key growth opportunities for future. Reimagined customer touchpoints and journey have dramatically impacted and transformed customer experiences across the banking industry. Leveraging the digital technology innovation is core point to every aspect of bank business. Banks try to leverage the technological capabilities and holistic offerings of financial products and services to create new value for their customers. The accelerated shift to digital banking and the need to make banking simple and safer promoted the ICICI Bank to launch several new digital products and platforms. At the same time, bank also tried to focus on looking beyond at the long-term technological landscape. The research questions points out too. Do the banking app provides all the features and services that of a traditional bank? Does the app attain any improvements in its successive stages of the app journey? Do the seamless payment features pave the way for the growth of ICICI Bank? So the objectives of the study to study the features of digital banking app of ICICI, the iMobile Pay, to analyze the digital journey of iMobile Pay app of ICICI Bank, to study the seamless payment features driving growth of ICICI Bank. Need of the study comes to, the study can help ICICI in particular and other Indian banks in general to build better business strategies to develop the mobile application more close to the customers. And the research methodology that I used is descriptive research qualitative methods, and I used secondary data sources in order to collect the data. The app-based banking iMobile Pay app. It's a first of its kind facility, iMobile Pay. The app-based banking extended the ambit of the bank's mobile banking app to users of any bank, providing instant access to the entire options of payment and bank service. It is launched in December 2020, and within 5 months of the launch of the app, over 2.5 million customers of different banks have activated the app. It will provide a unique combination of facilities of a payment app. The features at a glance. It allows the users to link any bank account, pay to contact feature, pay utility bills via UPI, open savings account instantly and recharge mobile numbers and FASTag, and apply for instant loans. And the new features added to the app includes Money Coach, Discover feature, voice-based payment feature, smart checkout, outweight remittance feature, 3D touch feature. The digital journey, the universal super app.
Go to finding portion.
Okay, and the findings includes the features includes that all that, and the digital journey of the app includes it from the iMobile 1.0 to now it comes to iMobile 3.0, and it becomes a universal super app. And a seamless payment feature analysis shows that it will acting as a driving growth force for the banking business in all aspects such as UPI transaction, pay to contact, scan to pay, etc. And analysis shows that it is showing an upward trend using this mobile app. So the suggestions comes to now the technology is of prime importance in every type of organization, whether technology based or not, for it facilitate the ability of organizations to meet the evolving customer demands and preferences. To ensure the competitive advantages over the long run, organization leaders must need to learn to effectively manage the technological assets. The conclusions. Technology lies at the heart of every organization, and the experiences of ICICI Bank indicates that it has come to influence the every stage of banking business. Using the innovative technologies, banks are approaching towards convenience banking from the traditional banking. Nowadays, all the transactions and services which are accessed through the traditional banking are now available at our fingertips using the various innovative technological solutions. In coming days, with the advanced technological usage, banking industry is going to create a big transformation in all aspects. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam, for your presentation. Now I call upon Ms. S.S. Karthika to present the paper. Madam, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, no, you can continue.
Is Miss visible?
Yeah, it is audible.
Impact of technology transformation and work-life balance in cashew industries in India, a study of present scenario. Introduction. Technology transformation in cashew sector promotes an economic development, while concern creates an impact in global production. Digitalization in the sector ensures competitiveness and transparency in providing information. Technological advancement helps enrichment of work-life balance in cashew. Innovative cashew sector increase the product and increase in income of producers. Transformation in value chain occurred due to focus in human resource development. Technological development provides high quality work and sustainable development in different fields of cashew industries. This makes work life of human resource much easier. Significance of the study. Cashew industries are major source of livelihood for many householders and corporate ventures. Majority of the human resources working under this sector are women. Development of this sector creates empowerment of women in different aspects. It provides financial stability in their life. Implementation technology, etc. The study focused on developing the overall advantage of human resource, which result in work-life balance in the sector. Objectives: understand the impact of technology, transformation of work-life balance of employees in cashew industries in India, to identify the various factors influencing technology transformation of work-life balance, identify various aspects of technology transformation and work-life balance in cashew industries. Metrology: the Indian data available with the research organization, information regarding sales, cost, etc. collected by them, reports and publication of trade association, banks, cooperative societies, and government organizations, technical journals, newspapers, periodicals, etc. Publication of research organizations, centers, institutions, and reports submitted by economists, research scholars, etc. When finding such and conclusion, there are 3,900 processing units in organized and unorganized sector, and they have 16.43 lakh empty processing capacity for processing units. While domestic production is limited to 50% of the actual demand, there is a need for adoption of post-harvest technologies. So, the study finds the adoption level of technology in cashew production. Sustainable development of cashew cultivation is possible through increasing the adoption of technology transformation. Quality and export grading efficiencies technologies such as TOMDAS helps in identification of damaged products and helps in maintaining country's reputation. It is one of the financial instruments for improving commercial competitiveness. Infrastructure development is required for removing the constraint and improving potential for development of cashew nuts. Work-life balance helps in reducing the mental stress, hypertension, and anxiety, and quality of life. Effective time management result in increasing productivity in the organization. For improving the quality of working time, the organization provides flexible arrangement in time schedule, professional growth, social connections, favorable office conditions, and personal productive time. The organization will provide an adequate technology for reducing overload of the employees so that they can easily run time. Technology transformation thus result in work-life balance of the employees. Limitation: the study is limited to Indian scenario. The study doesn't come to private and public sector separately. The study is not addressed with issues like implementation, technology transformation, cash net industry. Further studies can be done with issues like with technology transformation, work-life balance, and cash net industry. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam, for your presentation. Now I call upon Madam Mansi Bahuguna to present the paper.
Hello.
Ma'am, it is audible. You can continue.
Ma'am, is my screen visible?
Yeah, audible, ma'am.
No, ma'am, my screen is visible.
No, ma'am.
No, it is not visible, ma'am.
Okay, wait, ma'am. Why it is? Ma'am, is it visible now?
Yeah, now visible, ma'am.
Okay.
Now it is visible.
Okay. First of all, very good afternoon to all of you. My name is Mansi Bahuguna and I am a research scholar in Himgiri G University, Dehradun, Uttarakhand. And my guide is Dr. Vikas Tyagi. I am very thankful to AM Jain College who provide me this opportunity, and I am here today to talk to you about institutional factors influencing students' higher education choice decision in Dehradun. Moving forward to the introduction, higher education is an intentional movement. By higher education, we plan to acquire certain attractive changes in human life. Higher education is a cognizant extraction, and all things considered, it has crystal clear points and goals. The transformation in higher education has been also influenced by intensifying global competitions, declining fundings, and changing demand patterns. An understanding of the student market requires higher education institute to gain knowledge regarding the institution selection process. Studying the student choice criteria provides a basis for higher education institute to understand their customer and to develop their service quality. As competition increases, higher education institute sectors, public and private university increasingly view students as consumers and try to market their institution intensively. The purpose of this article to analyze the factors that drive a student to choose a particular university or institution. Objectives of the study: to investigate the social influence and student while heading of higher education institute in Dehradun. To investigate the factors of making choice of public or private institute of Dehradun. To study the critical factors of higher education selection by students and how it enhances the institute to take necessary steps. To know about major impact of influencing factors. To know the various policy adopted by higher education institute. Conceptual framework. The study also reveals 3 factors that play a significant part of their while selecting these institutes. They are internal, external, and social factors. They are divided into internal factors like aspirations, aptitudes, and career. External factors: courses, cost, location, reputation, promotion, and facilities. Social factor: parents, friends, and teachers. There are 2 variables, independent variables and dependent variables. According to diagram, it's mentioned here. Internal factors like aspirations, aptitude, and career, which provide a student to enroll in a higher education institution. External factor like college brand, placement, course programs, cost, location, promotion, facilities, scholarships, campus visits, college university representatives, industrial visits, practical exposure. It also impacts a student mostly. And social factors like parents, friends, teachers, and relatives, which is directly or indirectly influence a student to enroll in higher education institutions. If we talk about research methodology, the primary data was accumulated from interview sessions and questionnaires from students of various institutes in Dehradun. And secondary data was from articles, books, and newspapers. If we talk about hypothesis, there is no significant relation.
Come to conclusion.
Okay. So finding and conclusion. If we talk about conclusion, the framework is developed based on literature review. The institutional factors that influence a student in college choice selection includes college brand, placements, programs, cost, location, promotion, facilities, scholarships, campus visits, and university representatives, industrial visits, practical exposures, aspirations, careers, parents, friends. The bottom line is that study concludes that there isn't just a single factor that going into the mind and the soul of the student. Perhaps there are multiple variables that are affecting them. Nevertheless, the purpose of the study isn't limited to explore the factors, but also to investigate those factors comprehensively by applying techniques. It is noteworthy that the area of studies Dehradun and the ways can be entitled to be perfect place to give a distinct assimilation to the study. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for your presentation. Dear all, the rest of the participants, you can present your paper in the next session, which is scheduled at in between 2:30 to 4 p.m. due to national. Thank you. Now I request Professor Professor E. Prasad to honor a chairperson with a memento. Thank you. Thank you, sir, for honoring us. Thank you very much. I also thank
நான் இந்த குரூப்லயும் போட்டுட்டேன். அப்பதான் தெரியும் நிறைய நடக்குது. நம்ம அவமானப்படுத்திக்கலாம்.